Coming to you from the same spot as yesterday after a fantastic gym workout, and with a different introduction, because thinking about it, I think we could do a little bit better than learning time, even though it's pretty cool. And instead of When Wellness workout time, it's When Wellness nerd out time! Yeah! Happy When Wellness nerd out time, you other nerds out there that are actually interested in the intracellular signaling mechanisms of vitamin D. How you guys doing today? Happy today. It is an absolute pleasure to bring you another one of these educational When Wellness videos. Now, we're going to talk at the end about a really important principle, but before we do that, I just want to kind of get through this fast. We keep it short and sweet and informative, right? That's going to be the way of all of these. And so for those of you that are just looking for the information, here you go. Yesterday we left off with vitamin D traveling through the blood, right? Bound to our vitamin D binding protein, right? And when it got to the target cell, it was then released. So we had free, active, unbound vitamin D. Now that will diffuse through the cell, and we left off where it bound the vitamin D receptor, right? So then we got our vitamin D receptor bound to vitamin D. This activates the vitamin D receptor, and it travels through the cytosol, goes to the nucleus, and it binds to, you guessed it, retinoid X receptor, baby. And this retinoid X receptor bound to this vitamin D receptor, aka VDR, which is bound to vitamin D, right, forms a heterodimer. And so this heterodimer, now that we're in the nucleus, it can interact with other co-activators and co-repressors to affect gene expression, right? And we know we're going to start with transcription of genes, right? Later getting to the translation of proteins outside of the nucleus from that messenger RNA. But that's where we're going to cut it today. So where we start, transcription. Tomorrow we'll talk about what is transcribed, what is translated, where in the body, and why. So it could be a pretty in-depth one tomorrow, but we'll try to keep it quick. We'll try to keep it sweet, right? That's what it's about, is like we said yesterday, never too much at once, right? Because we want you to remember it. And so what I wanted to talk about, having said that, thank you guys for tuning in. I can't see you from here. I can see Gino's, and I think Danny Kipp as well, but yeah, my eyesight's not there. I can't see above that, so I'm sorry to whoever you are. What I really wanted to talk about was, this in-depth stuff. I mean, like we said yesterday, we're putting it out there so that if you're interested, keyword is if you're interested, right? We're going to put it up regardless. I don't assume that everybody wants to hear about the intracellular, mechanisms of how vitamin D is gets to gene expression, everything we just talked about, right? All these things we're talking about, it from chem to biochem to, whatever. But if you are interested in it and you want to hear about it, I'm happy to share it with you. I'm happy to, geek out with you guys, because we've been working out for a year, and I'm ready to nerd out for a year. So, and work out. We don't stop working out, obviously. We do When Wellness for the gym in our own time, right? Just repeat those workouts if you want to. Go back to the IGTV. They're all posted. But, for those of you that aren't as interested in it, obviously just skip these videos. I mean, they're pretty short anyway. If you want to just hear a little bit of it, whatever, obviously you're going to do what you want. You can skip through them and you can get to the meat and potatoes and the clinical relevance days after we talk about this, right? So if that's all you're interested in, you just hop to those. It makes no difference to me. I'm just here putting out, I'm trying to put out good informative information for the people, right? And I want to make it a little bit more fun to learn. And, we don't have a whiteboard. Maybe we'll invest in one at some point. But, just talking about it, keeping it simple, short, sweet, and fun. That's what it's about. So, if you were thinking, why is he talking about a retinoid X receptor? Well, it's for those of you that want to hear about the retinoid X receptor. Thank you guys very much. That was fantastically fast. And And we'll see you tomorrow, people, for another one. There he is. Zach, what's up, man? 2222. 2222. Very nice. Very nice. I love you, man. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have a fantastic rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Happy Wend Wellness.